It's preparing a live stream. Oh, yes, it's happening. It's happening again.
We're on. Hello, everybody. Welcome, witches, to the Broken Pentacle podcast. This is a space for witches who walk their own path beneath upside down skies, where the stars tell different stories and the magic, well, it has teeth. We welcome all those who dare to walk their own path. We're your hosts, Alvine and Avalon, two witches who've lived our craft under the southern skies for decades.
Excellent. Hello, everyone. So nice to have you join us. I'm just pulling up all of the windows, so please do excuse me for 1 second. Hi, Charity. Nice to see you.
Hello, hello. I'm just pulling up my chat too. Here we go. My internet's being a little slow.
Okay, I think I've got something going on here in which I can see everything carefully. Hi, Honey Owlet Moon and Rockin' Robin and Renee, Suzanne. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, what a vibe. All right. Well, we are here to talk about spell ingredients. Well, actually, yes, it's ingredients. It's a little bit tools. It's a little bit of our favorite things to use in spellcraft. So that could be ingredients, that could be tools, that could be implements and all sorts of things, even intentions. So we're talking about witchcraft in the witchcraft sense here. So you get a really good grasp on the type of spells that Alvine and I typically like to do, and the way in which we've refined our practice in such a way where we just know what goes with which and what we like to do, how we can get something done specifically. We've all got our processes, and that's the most beautiful thing is to just refine those processes enough. And I don't think you're ever done. First and foremost, I don't think you're ever done. I believe that, like, I am in my 40s, and the older I get, the less I feel like I know, and the more I feel like I need to know.
Can relate.
I'm in a very curious disassemblement phase right now. I was just talking to Alvine before. Whenever I hear a term used in the modern context, I want to try and understand why they've used that term in that particular way, or why they're showing a spell done in this very strange and particular way. Not because I'm an expert and I'm coming at it from a critical mind. I like to know how things work, especially if I do something in my own practice that works super well and needs no tweaking. I wonder how that same energy applies to another person's spell. They do it a completely different way to me, and they say that it's working for them. I find that difference absolutely fascinating, and it stands to reason that there are many ways to do that one thing. And I think our ancestors like to really step in and go, use this method or use that method. And it's a very spirit-driven kind of experience. But I'm rambling. All of that's to say that I find the ideas fascinating. Alvine, what have you got? Do you want to add something to this? Oh, actually, wait, stop. Everybody stop. This is the first time I have had Alvine on my channel.
Yeah.
I think it's been a long time. Like, it was years ago, wasn't it? It was
years
ago.
I don't even know. It was. You know what? Actually, I do remember. I'm remembering something I don't know if I can say publicly. Yes, we did that. Maybe on the podcast.
I love it. Well, Alvine, why don't you introduce yourself to people here in my community that may not have seen you or know who you are, and even people that haven't seen you in a really long time because you've taken a bit of a break and all of that kind of stuff. Why don't you give us a refresher and, like, indulge us?
Indulge. Well, hello, my name is Alvine Green. I live down in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. I've lived here my whole life. I've been practicing witchcraft for over 11 years now, and I've been working as a professional in the industry for about 9. So as a magical teacher and a guide and a tarot reader and all those good, wonderful things. Witchcraft is definitely my passion, and I've made it my life. I adore all things witchery, as I think many of us do, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to spend so much of my time focused on it, even if it's not my witchery itself, on witchery. The way I would describe my craft, I was thinking about this recently. I'm not a big one for labels. I think that they tend to restrict more than expand. But if I had to choose some labels for my witchery, I think I would be an eclectic folk chaos witch. So eclecticism, all the different things, I'm so into that. I love folk magic, right? I love the oils and the physical and the tangible and the really, really practical magic. I love that so much. And then there's an element of chaos witchery as well. So using things like pop culture, or really fucking about with traditions. A lot of that stuff I don't share publicly because it upsets people, right? I'm sure we'll talk about it more moving forward, but that is what I would say my practice is at this time. I think that's a good little synopsis of who I am.
Very nice. I just had a mini stroke then because I went to respond to people in the comments, and I think I'm actually signed into the Broken Pentacle channel.
You know what's hilarious? So am I. Because I was getting our links before, so I'm typing and I'm like, oh, I'm the Broken Pentacle.
I'm definitely streaming on my own channel, so I was like, oh, I see.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So, all right. Thank you so much, Alvine, for introducing yourself with such authenticity. I do love the vibe. I love it. It's a great vibe. It's a great vibe. All right, folks. So, let's see what people are saying. Even though I am, I did respond.
The Broken Pentacle. That's going to get confusing.
I think I'm going to have to check. Like, look, just let me maintain. Just let me do a thing. Am I going to mess around with this? I might have just killed it. Oh no! Oh no! I'm all right. I'm all right.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's better. That is much better. I found it. Okay. I'm in the right account now. I'm in the right actual account, so I can see it all much clearer. Thank you, everyone, for joining us yet again. This is our round 2. This is our part 2. Today, I don't know where you are based in the world, but today here is the 1st of October. And so whether or not you're in the spring like we are down here, or you're entering autumn in the north, it is without a doubt the energy of the spooky season. It is, in fact, upon us. It still feels very magical down here, even though we're not entering into full vibes. It is so bright and blossoming, and everything is alive and thriving and just reaching for the sun. And it's such a beautiful, colorful time. And that in itself means that there are more ingredients to harvest for our spellcraft. There is more animal activity around us to divine our paths and all of that kind of good fun stuff. So nice. We've got a lot of Northern Hemisphere. Oh, pero.
We love our Northerners.
We've got an Argentinian. Spring here, of course. Absolutely.
Very cool.
Kansas, starting to get cooler here. Very nice. Very nice. Massachusetts. Oh, I'm following this girl, this lady, not a girl, but she's a lady. She's so cute. I think she works in a witchy store in Salem. And just her energy is it's so freaking cute. It's so cute. I'll send her your way, Alvine, in the chat later on, so that you can just it's just such a vibe. All right, folks. All right. So in case you didn't know, in case you didn't join us on Alvine's channel, we are launching our Broken Pentacle podcast. today. The idea behind this Broken Pentacle podcast comes from Alvine's beautiful creative mind. She reached out to me some months ago and said, "Hey, what's up? Do you want to do a podcast?" It was more eloquent than that, but that was the vibe.
That was more
and
or
I'm
less
like,
all it was, to be honest.
I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it. That was that was the vibe. And so we have been planning and plotting and creating and striving to understand and learning and doing all the things, right? So we have created for ourselves, and this is relevant to the launch, we have our own YouTube channel, which you can see because Alvine is actively commenting in the Broken Pentacle YouTube channel. And so as the username, the Broken Pentacle. So that's her specifically. We have a TikTok. So if you like TikTok, we have a TikTok. And if you can help me encourage Alvine to contribute some content in short form format, then we can get it to do it. I feel
that's one of the learning curves right there, the old TikTok, the short video form. You feel old, you know. We're getting there though.
That's exactly right. And we also have our Instagram account, which is the Broken Pentacle on Instagram. And we have our main podcast launching platform, which is Spotify. So we have the Broken Pentacle on Spotify. So it's exciting. It's exciting. We're going to get in now and we're going to discuss some of our favorite witchy spell tools, our witchcraft tools, the things that we absolutely love to work with. And then we're going to jump in and do some readings with tarot specifically. And let's get into it. So I'll get Alvine to start. She can start to dazzle you with all of that. See, do you see her room? Can you see into her room?
The thing.
Like, don't you just want to just lick everything?
I love that. I'm an artist that doesn't paint. That's how I describe it. So it explodes out of me somehow. So there you go. All right.
I love that.
Let's start with, okay. So in the chat, you guys, let us know what your favorite spell ingredients are. And as we go along, if there are any that you're like, ooh, I'm interested in trying that, or ooh, I love that too, let us know. So the first one I wanted to share was dolls. And actually, I was going to get a few more examples out, but I love doll magic. So it's super versatile. You can make dolls out of all kinds of material. So I've got like material dolls here that are just roughly stitched myself, but you can use Barbies, you can use stuffed toys, you can use paper, you can use little wooden figures, like you could, any of the things, right? All it really needs to be is the shape of a person or animal or thing, really. So I adore doll magic. The reason I love it is because for myself, and I wonder if anyone's the same, I don't know if you had the same experience, but when I work doll magic, like I tap the fuck in. Sometimes I scare myself a little because I'm just like, I'm there, you know, and I'm like, and it really helps me to so deeply connect, especially if I'm working on someone else, right? Which obviously with doll magic, it's can be baneful, it can be positive. It's very much depending on yourself. So I just wanted to share a couple of resources. You know how I love to do that because I have a few really good ones here. The first one I would recommend to beginners. And honestly, if you're not a beginner as well, but if you're a beginner, this is entry level. This is Poppet Magic by Silver Ravenwolf. Now, this is actually the first Silver Ravenwolf book I ever read. And I'd heard all the like, everyone, oh, Silver Ravenwolf. It's really good. Okay. So it's, first of all, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous book with tons and tons and tons of pictures. It goes through everything you need to know about poppet making. If you're crafty, she's awesome too, because she's so creative. Like just the dolls that she's making in here are crazy. So she goes through everything you need to know about constructing and working with a doll. There are spells in here. And what's awesome is she's got a whole lot of patterns in the back, okay, of animals, of people. There are complicated ones. There's a skull. And she's got ideas for what you do with all of these as well. So super awesome. And then you know who the next one's going to be by, right? It is one of the Lucky Mojo books. Sorry, I'm saying that as if you guys have already heard the episode that we recorded when we were sharing our book recommendations. You haven't seen it yet, but Lucky Mojo features a little bit for us because the books are tiny, right? 96 pages, but my God, are they mighty. Literally, like, it's just the best distilled information. It's so, so good. So in this one specifically, this is Hoodoo Dolls and Effigies, how to craft and cast spells with poppets, fetishes, and voodoo dolls in the African-American conjure tradition. So obviously it is of a specific tradition. Now, let me just quickly go to the contents page. So in here, there is a whole bunch on how to actually craft your doll, and it goes through all of the things. Okay, I'll just give you some examples. Knitted socks, leather, horn antler, mud dolls, clay dolls, paper dolls, butterfat, meat dolls, twig and stick, loaded statuary dolls, photographs, dough, bread, cookies, corn husk, all of it, right? It takes you through all of it. And then it takes you through how to work with your doll. So how to speak to it, how to feed it, how to stab it or use pins in it, how to put the doll to sleep, how to deploy or dispose of the doll, how to unmake the doll, how to kill a doll, all these different things. And then there is all the spells, tons of ideas. So small and terribly mighty. But I would love to know if anyone is into doll magic, and how you use it. I would love to know. Thank you, Avalon.
Oh, that was very nice, very nice. I love it that I love that you come with Rex, you know,
Always. If I
for
can,
books.
always.
It's so beautiful to see. I think, like, I love doll magic. I have many a story from my coven up north. I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Deb from Mariba, who she is so beautiful. She's such a beautiful soul. But when I tell you this woman showed me her poppet, it looked like something that was created, fashioned by the very hands of Baba Yaga. When I look at Deb and I look at her doll, I'm like, what the fuck? like, what? She made some of the, and it's very earthy, like it's twigs and it's fashioned and it's bound, and then it's got this purple cloth, and then she handmade the clay face to this doll, and then like fashioned it all, and then like it was so cool to see. I'm like, oh my God, she'd named it and everything. I was like, this is before I had even met her. She had this doll before I had even met her, and I'm like, damn girl, you're just witchy at your core, aren't you? Like, it's nice to see. It's nice to see. Cool. But I like puppet magic. This is for me specifically. I will do a puppet. I will do a good old-fashioned voodoo doll if I know that someone I love very, very dearly needs healing.
Very good for healing work.
They are very, very, very good for healing. And but also they can be like, I know a lot of practitioners like to make voodoo dolls of themselves and then feed and nurture the voodoo doll, because it is at its core a form of sympathetic magic, right? But it becomes the most precious, nerve-wracking thing to have a voodoo doll of yourself, to have a puppet of yourself. You don't want anyone to touch it, anyone to look at it. You don't want to stuff it in a box. You have to leave it out in the open. You have to position it nicely. Like, it's so stressful.
I haven't tried that. I haven't tried having one of myself. I like that concept. That might be something I play with in future, I think.
This is a good one for parents as well, especially parents whose children have left the nest. It's good to have voodoo dolls of your children or puppets of your children, and you always bless them and feed them and like maintain them in a really healthy capacity. You give them a hug, you pour your love into it. They can feel that from such a long way away. They feel looked after, they feel cared for. Creates this bubble of energy around it, and it's such a beautiful way to witch with your kids.
Absolutely.
With or without their knowledge. Like, it's a bit taboo, but when it's all anchored into love and for the good, I think it's a beautiful thing. Okay, so I'm going to start off with,
I think I know. Yeah.
my baby. This is my baby. This is my little Peruvian owl rattle. So, little story about this one. I love a good rattle. It's the best sound ever. Oh my God, it's the best sound ever. I love myself a rattle. I was raised to use a rattle, and I love the energy of a rattle as a summoning tool. It disperses, it sprinkles magic in every direction. This is my spirit summoning tool. As I'm shaking it, I'm saying the words in my head. But this is how I summon my spirits at the start of every single tarot reading that I do for a client. There's always a preparation session. I always call in my gods, guides, guardians, ancestors, and in my case, the Orisha. So this is the tool that I use to do that with. It brings the magic. It brings the tether. It anchors the spirits in a way. And I feel the aspecting experience of this incredible tool. Some rattles are used for healing work and dispersing pain and sickness and disease. Some rattles are used as summoning tools, much like this one here. And this particular one came to me by way of a beautiful subscriber on my YouTube channel. At the time, I was in the market for a rattle, and I had seen many, and I had looked at many, but nothing ever resonated until I open up this little package. First of all, it's an owl. It's an owl. Like, who doesn't love owls?
100%.
Like, it's an owl. And then I looked underneath, and it had made in Peru. And just that alone, I'm South American, just that alone meant that this was a little bit closer to home. And then I actually shook it. And when I shook it, my brain exploded, and I got this full visual of the Amazon rainforest with the trickling things and things dripping and the sound of, like, it's rainforest. This is a rainforest sound. And so this to me is one of those tools that I will reach for at least once a day, unless I'm not doing readings at all. But I don't take this one away with me anywhere. This one lives on my spirit altar here and in my reading space. This is my divination reading kind of space. And this one lives here permanently. Doesn't leave. No one's allowed to touch it. I just want to repeat that. No one's allowed to fucking touch it.
You come over, do not touch it.
Don't touch my fucking rattle. But also, nobody has even tried to touch this.
Oh, isn't that funny?
Yeah. No, like, it just sits here as a little thing. Like, no one's even tried. No one's even tried. So it's a beautiful thing. But I would recommend, I have a little bell. This sounds like Tinkerbell. I am a big fan of drums and rattles and bells and noise as a summoning tool, as an altering of consciousness tool. I could have shown you my shamanic drum, but she's up high and I don't want to get it, and I'm being lazy right now. But I made that one from scratch, and I made it with intention when I made it. And the idea behind it is that this sound kind of lulls you into this altered state of consciousness. And using certain tools, certain sound tools in specific ways can be quite powerful as an experience, especially for someone who practices on their own. Because if you can get in the zone, if you can really alter your state of consciousness with a sound tool of this sort of degree, then you're in for some really beautiful journey magic. And that journey magic in and of itself is so mind-boggling. It's so open and it's so exploratory. Like, you can have a genuine experience, like, depending on your tradition, and like you know, like, if you're into fetch beasts and all of that kind of stuff, depending on your tradition, if you're path working with the tarot, if you're actually doing journey work, if you're doing shamanic upper lower world journeys, it depends on your tradition and the direction in which you want to go. But these types of practices are so embodied. They're quite ecstatic, and they deeply affect the soul, the spirit, and the hangover, if you can call it that, from these experiences can be just so fucking good. So good. You'll have all the real experiences in these moments, and it'll blow your mind.
I love that. I've got a noisemaker too, so I'm like ditto to all the things that you just said. And I've got I've got a drum too, just back. Oh, you probably can't see it, but there's a drum over there. But this one has been with me since the beginning of my practice, pretty much. This is a singing bowl that my father-in-law brought back for me from Tibet, I think. And it has the
Nice.
deepest, most gorgeous sound. Let me just dong it for you. Let me just.
No.
Not working? That is hilarious. My microphone's too good quality, and it's like there's some weird noise that I'm not gonna. It's so loud. Okay, well, I can't show you the noise. But anyway, it makes a gorgeous deep sound because it's such a big one. But I
Try
really
it again. Try hitting it above. Try hitting it
Right,
above.
let's see.
No.
That is hilarious. It's so anyway, okay, it's fine. But I really love this for meditation. So you can't hear it, but the sound begins dong, and then it travels down to this, and it gets to the point where you can barely hear it, but the more you put your ear in, you can hear that sound. So I like to actually travel with the sound down, right? That's something I do. I've also used this for cleansing, of course, really fabulous for that, and resetting the energy of a space and just getting ready for magic. So that's what I'll say on noisemakers.
Someone here, Rockin' Robin, has said the maracas from Mexico.
Yeah, lovely choice.
Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, what else are you going to show us?
All right. What do I want to do? All right, let's do this one. Playing cards. I literally just reached into my altar drawer and I'm like, what playing card decks do I have? All of these. So I love using playing card decks in Magic. Let me show you one little example. There's so many different things you can do with them, right? This is just an example that I've had from work, but you can use them as like a poppet, if you will, or a way to tie them to someone. So this is a Jane Doe card here with like a birth date, right? And on the back is taped some hair. So that would be a personal concern. So you can really tie it to the person. I love playing cards because you can cut them, you can draw on them, you can burn them. If you are burning them, probably do it outside because most of them are covered in like a plastic and it smells really
100% do it outside.
not good for you. Yeah, be outside. But they can just, and they're so cheap, right? Like all of these decks, like $1 or $2 each, whatever. And I have a ton because there are particular cards that I tend to reach for to use magically. So then I've used it from that deck, so then I have all these other decks. But they're great and they're so versatile. You can put them into spell bags, you can put them under candles, you can burn them, as I mentioned. You can place them strategically around your house, under mats, under beds, whatever. So there's so many things you can do with them. And I've got a recommendation for you. This is one of my all-time favorite books of all time, is A Deck of Spells. And this is Hoodoo Playing Card Magic in Rootwork and Conjure by Professor Charles Porterfield. This is another Lucky Mojo title. It's so good, you guys. If you are interested in using cards in your spells at all, even if you're more interested in Oracle or Tarot, I would recommend this book because there's so many different techniques and methods in here. It's fabulous. Now, if you're interested in playing cards specifically, he actually goes through a lot of the meanings of the cards. What I love is he gives you several different meanings. So he goes, these are my meanings. This is this person's meanings. These are this other meanings. So you've got this sort of variation there that you can look into for yourself. And then at the end of the book, every single card has a spell that goes with it. So there's just a ton of ideas. And again, the small and mighty book. So playing cards. I'm interested. Does anyone use playing cards in their spells?
Ooh. I have a little something interesting to share on the subject of playing cards. I did this in one of in one of our episodes, but I'll do it again now because I think it's just absolutely fucking fascinating. Okay. So in a standard deck of playing cards, there's 52 cards for the 52 weeks of the year. There are 2 colors, black and red, for night and day. There are 4 suits for the 4 seasons. There's 13 weeks per season, ace through to king. 12 court cards for the 12 months of the year. Add each of the cards together and you'll get 364. The jokers were used as leap years or during leap years. So absolutely fascinating. I found that to be absolutely fascinating. I cannot remember where I got that from. Absolutely fascinating. Now keep going, Alvine. I want to see your collection of cards because you held up a little pack there.
Oh, sure. I was just going to show just this little thing at the end. They're not that exciting, but I just got these mini ones. This was like a favor from like a party or something. I can't even remember. I've got a few of these decks though, and I was like, holy freaking shit. Oh my God. Because which witch doesn't love a mini something, right? I think it is. Look. Oh my God. Anyway, that's all really.
That's excellent for spells.
Yes.
Thank you, Alandra. All right. Okay, so I'm going to come in with probably so many tools, so many options. I'm going to go in with I'll go in with oils.
Okay.
Okay, I have so many. All right. I'm going to recommend some places where you can get your oils from as well. I typically get my oils from 3 places. 3, maybe 4 places. 4 places, I think. So here I have Juniper Moon's Apothecary. Well, when she was Juniper Moon,
Wild Cauldron, we believe.
Wild Cauldron. She's the Wild Cauldron now. This is Queen Bee. The labels fall off because
it's oily.
I use this one here is High John the Conqueror, which is used in my ancestral practice as well.
I got a whole one here actually to show. There you go. Look at that.
Very nice. And this is Abramelin, which also does not have a label anymore, but it is what I use to anoint my statuary. It is what I use to anoint my divination tools. It is that holy oil that you can use.
Abramelin's
you can
wonderful.
also make your own.
Yeah, it's in the recipes in the Bible if you're interested.
Yeah. So Juniper's oils are fantastic. I also use 3 Crows Conjure. And I need to read. I can never read. Oh, it's Loon Enchanted. Loon Enchanted. My eyes. I really do need new glasses, folks. It's Loon Enchanted. She does an oil that I absolutely love. This is actually called Rich Witch.
Oh, I like that.
I know, it's a vibe. And I also work with 3 Crows Conjure. So this one here is, well, hang on, I'll show you a more beneficial one. This one here is a blockbuster. So really great for when you're trying to just remove obstacles from your life. I think magical oils are something that you can make or something that you can use with intention, of course. And see, this is one of the things that people don't seem to understand when using magical oils, because they believe that it's just a matter of putting the oil on the thing and it'll do the job. Everything requires programming, folks. Set the intention, say it out loud. Your voice has a vibration to it. It moves energy around. So say it out loud. Whisper to it. Hold it to your chest. Whisper to it. Hold it to your head. I am the type of person that if I'm trying to, we call it affirmando a vela. So if I'm affirming my candle, I hold it to my head and I sit here in prayer position and I will simply do this. I do the same thing with my oils. So all my oils get the same sort of treatment. I sit there and I try to tap you. I trust the witch that created the oil. I'm very particular about the types of oils that I use. Very, very, very particular. I trust the witches that make these oils and I tap into that magic and I set that intention that their magic be good, their intention be good, and then I move through and then I add my own intention and I layer it and layer it and layer it. It's not, I want to say this, no witchcraft ingredient or tool is an easy thing to use. Everything requires a lot of heart. Your heart powers a lot of what you do. And so even this oil here that's blockbuster, if I just pour this onto a candle, yeah, it's going to do a thing. But if I do so in a disconnected headspace, then no, it's probably not going to hit where it needs to. You really need to be mind, body, spirit, physically connected to the experience, which is why grounding and centering are such a big deal in witchcraft and magic. So I'm going to say magical tools in this way would be my oils. And it's great to have a selection. It's great to either make that selection yourself. Alvine and I, in one of the very first episodes of the podcast, we made a creativity oil that is still ruining my life. It is.
You'll hear all about it on the podcast. This is my version here. Yeah.
The time that we made this oil, like we agreed on a recipe, and then I realized, oh, I'm actually not even at home. I don't have the full brunt of my apothecary to sort of help. We agreed on the ingredients that I both had, and then I realized, oh, I don't have any of that with me. And so I ended up going out into the backyard of this place that I was staying, and I found cultivated, dried, prepared, and then fashioned this oil, all from things that were just around me at that time. And I think that actually, it landed really well, because as soon as I put this oil in my hair, which is I have very long hair, so I put the oil in my hair, especially the ends, because I'm a little dry on the ends. So I do that. I put them on my feet, and depending on the ingredients, not everything's good for skin. It ruined my life in the best way possible. Like, I was like, I have ADHD. It's not something you should put close to your head. That's what I quickly learned. Don't put this up here because it's already busy. Like, we were so creative, individually and collectively, so very creative.
So haunted. We were haunted.
So haunted by creativity.
Yeah.
Alvine couldn't sleep. She
Still
was like...
can't. Anyway, we'll talk about that later, but yeah. Crazy people. Witchcraft is real.
Oh, yeah, it really is real. It really is real. All right. So that's me. That's my oils. What else have you got for us?
Well, I just want to say with the oils, I'm the same. I was going to say oils, but like, whatever. But I like, the oils. And I love making my own. I've got some from other people as well, but I adore the crafting and the result of, I love as you can see from this one here, I love my oils really chunky, like I love that
same
in there. So I love that I've got that option when I'm making them myself. And I would say the only oil that I reach for maybe fairly regularly that wasn't mentioned that I want to mention is black cat oil. That's one that I really love using, and it's one that I tend to reach for. Black cat oil is a traditional formula that can be used for a myriad of different things, gambling, luck, and so on. I really like it for witch's luck. That's how I kind of use it. I've got my own little black cat, and my recipe that I put together, and that's really when I like I don't know, it's almost like a way to boost my witch's magic. In a way, is how I tend to use one. So that's what I wanted to mention about that. Now let's move on. Okay, the other spell ingredient that I love that I wanted to mention is ancestor money, or hell notes, or joss paper. There's all these different terms. So there's all different kinds you can get. Ooh, it's rain and money. Love that. Okay, so these are like a paper, right? So you get them in different material, but paper is really good. So the way that I use ancestor money is how I usually tend to call it. Ancestor money is I use this as offerings. So what I will do is I will sometimes write on them, and then I burn them for my ancestors. However many it feels at the time, I'm giving them an offering there. They're really good to use as petitions as well. So you can write your petition out on the back. Traditionally, this is used with ancestor work. Okay, so they can be used elsewise in your craft if you want to get creative, but usually it's used for ancestors. And you burn the money to give it to the ancestors, right? Like it transmutes it into the spiritual. We had a little talk behind scenes about transmutation. So I just put that in there for Avalon.
How could you? Oh, very nice use of the word.
It's our word of the day. Put it in a sentence.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I realize that I have to go and grab something in a minute, but not right now, because my next, I think my next tool, my next ingredient that I like to use, it would have to be like crystals. I wanted to grab a few. It has to be crystals.
Is that an amethyst there, the one you're putting down right now?
Yeah, that is an amethyst.
Beautiful. Oh,
she's super nice. I have a lot of amethyst. It's like my spirit stone. But I love a good palm stone first and foremost, but I actually typically work a lot with clear quartz, points specifically as amplification, because let's say I'm doing a candle spell. I'll have my candle down here on a base that is heat proof with a cork base underneath it. I'm saying this because I've set a lot of shit on fire. This very table that I am sitting at, underneath its covering is a big black burn mark from a hex that I did. And now whenever I'm hexing someone, I take everything off my table and I use that black. It's like an eye. It's like a perfect round circle. Wow. It's like an eye in the center of my table. And I'm like, oh, cool.
You also don't want to like repeat that too often. These are practical.
I don't.
We've burnt our own tables. Learn from us.
Yeah, it's a vibe. But as I was saying, I would put my candle dressed and inscribed in the center. I would then put ring of herbs around it. I would decorate it, and then I would actually put the points of clear quartz points around that, and then I would just create this almost like mandala of magic. That's how I really love to work with my spells. And if I'm not working with a candle, I could work with a poppet, I could work with a charm bag, I could work with a ritual tea in the same capacity and let it sit there, let the spell or the potion sit there and work its magic. But I use crystals as great amplifiers, either to the points facing in to amplify or the points facing out to emit, if you will. And so absolutely essential to my practice. I also work with stones of all different kinds. Take, for instance, my bone stone. So I pair every deck of mine with a crystal. And my bone stone comes with this stone right here. This is a stone taken from a sacred site in maybe that's illegal. I don't know.
Sacred site, never mind where.
Somewhere in the UK. But my girlfriend went back not too long ago and bought me back mad magic, like locational magic. So that one comes from a very special place. But I also I'll use found stone a lot. I'm not a snob. I'm not a stone snob. This one right here was taken from Crystal Cascades in far north Queensland, and it is paired with my gods and titans. But basically, I pair every single working deck that I have. So currently, Curious Creatures is paired with fluorite.
Lovely choice.
We have the Connected and Free Alchemist Oracle paired with selenite. We have the Magic of You Oracle paired with honey calcite. Can you see the theme emerging? Everything gets a little pair. If I'm working with it, if it's out on my table, and there are some decks that I have even like eternity bonded, for instance, like I have the Steampunk Tarot by Barbara Moore and Ali Fell, like it's the back in the day one. It is constantly paired with a piece of petrified wood. So that's its pairing. Likewise, my soul cards. So this is soul cards too. It's always permanently paired with this little fluorite love heart.
Beautiful.
And so I work a lot with crystals. I like to place them in areas. They're through my car, they're around my bed, they're all throughout my kitchen. They just manage to get in there and everywhere kind of vibe. And so I don't know if that's the fact that I'm a Taurus sun. I think that might actually have something to do with it. We like our deep earth. We like our pretty things.
Pretty
so
sparklies. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and say a big shout out to all these people that manage to facet stones as well. I have a few little spectacular ones. So this actually belongs to a Coven sister of mine. It's a bit of a Vogel kind of quartz. It's her energy there. That's her. This one here has a beautiful charite pyramid in the center of it, but it's very faceted. It's a nice Isis point. It's a bit dusty, and then we have this Merkaba shaped rose quartz, like these little faceted stones that I have, like double terminated stones and things like that. I find them they're tiny and yet they're more special in many ways because you can do more magic with them. And so, and then lastly, for my spirit work sessions, these are the only two stones that I use for my spirit work sessions. These are my channeling stone. This is ribbon stone, and this is laboradite or labradorite, depending on how you like to pronounce it. I have a major aversion to labradorite, and for about 30 years of my life, I couldn't even touch labradorite. I just couldn't. I would pick it up and I would feel this like acrid kind of achy sense in the very palm of my hand. And then I'm sauntering through a crystal shop and I see this one, and it actually sort of like said hello to me. And I picked it up, and for the first time, I could actually hold this stone in my hand. And I'm like, am I cured? Is this a thing? Right? As it turns out, I am a little bit more cured. I must have gone over a thing. I was doing some shamanic healing at the same time. And so maybe I did a little something. But when I am doing my channeling sessions, I work with these two stones specifically. And so they are integral to my spirit work channeling sessions. So yes, I would say that I work a lot with crystals.
Many stones. And we talk about stones in the podcast as well. Every week or two, we talk about a stone. We love all that too. Now, was there something you had to go and get?
I do. So you can continue and talk about your thing.
I'll take control. All right. The other spell ingredient that I wanted to share with you guys, and would love to know if you use this too, is Florida water. So we are actually going to do, we haven't done it yet, but we're going to do a whole episode on Florida water because I know that Avalon has a batch brewing currently as well. But this is, let's say, the traditional Florida water here. So this is Murray and Lanman, and it's a cologne, a spiritual cologne. Very easy to purchase in the north, right? It's a little bit more expensive for us in the south. Now, traditionally, it's this kind of blue color. I hope you can kind of see that, this blue color. But I read somewhere, and I don't actually remember where anymore, but about activating it with a little bit of frankincense and a little bit of sandalwood. So that's what I've done with this one. So that's actually the sandalwood coloring in there. Now, I've also got a batch back here. Making it yourself there's nothing quite like it. So the sense of this is very different to these, right? This is there's a real alcoholness to these. And I do suppose there is in this too, because the base of it is, I can't remember if this one's vodka or gin. I quite like to use both of them in my practice personally for various things. But the base of this is citrus. So what I do is I steep citrus peel. I've used mandarin before. I've used orange. So it's up to you. You can put lemon, but you put the peel into an alcohol and you let it steep. How long for? A lot of people will say a couple of weeks. I've done it for over a year before. It really is, it's not going to go bad. But you let it steep in there, you'll get the color from the citrus and that smell, and it's just, oh. Now, Florida water is amazing for cleansing. Like, it's a powerhouse cleanser. I also really like it for spirit work. So when I am wanting to make the space nice for spirits, if you will, or I use it a lot in my floor washes. So I kind of call spirit in and we do a bit of work and have the Florida water there as well. But this is a really wonderful, wonderful ingredient. You can, put it into baths. You can obviously use it on yourself. You can use it on candles, on whatever else you want. So very versatile. And I'm just going to pop off for a quick second, unprofessionally, and let you take it from here, Avalon. I'll be right back.
No worries, no worries. So I think one of the best things to do is actually to make your own Florida water, to be perfectly honest, because it has your own intentions, it has your own ingredients, it has biospheric magic intertwined with it. And I like to really work within my biosphere. I like to work with spirits of place. I like to work with my own ancestors, which are not necessarily attached to place. But I really like to be able to infuse all of that very personalized, intentional energy into a creation. And I recently made a top up of Florida water, and I let it steep for probably 2 months, I want to say. But I didn't just use the peel, I used the entire fruit because I really wanted it to have some juiciness to it. So I let that mixture sit for about 2 months, and it was a base of vodka. It smells like vodka. And when I spray it, but you can smell like the citrus. You can definitely smell the orange, because I was saying, Alvine, I don't just use the peel, I use the whole fruit.
I love that.
So it has that juiciness to it. And it won't go bad because it's just sitting in alcohol.
Yeah.
But I sometimes dilute it a little bit. I mix a bit of water into it so that it just sort of like creates that, because I believe that water is the conduit to the divine. I'm a spirit witch, so I believe that water is the conduit to the divine. So you can add it in there as an extra tool, as an extra experience. So good vibes, good vibes.
Absolutely.
All right. The next tool, I want to say that that Alvine and I both work a lot with this tool. Actually, I would say it's prolific amongst witches, full stop. And I'm specifically referring to candles. Candles, okay? Candles like this. This is a beeswax candle that my sister gave me just the other day. It's absolutely beautiful. It's very draconic. It's got a little dragon imprint on it. So I would save it for a special occasion. When do I want to use dragon energy? What does dragon mean to me? And how would I utilize that? Now, I'm going to show you some of my most coveted candles that I don't know when I'm going to use. Okay. First of all, the most important candle is this one right here. This is a Brazilian 7-day candle. This one right here. This is an impossible thing to find or access in Australia. And it is just, I got it years ago. I bought it 11 years ago when I was in Brazil.
Wow.
And I've held on to it because I was like, when am I ever going to, when? Then my beautiful Coven sister Mindy sent me this here. This is a gold crown candle. It's very detailed. It's very beautiful. I'll see if I can turn the brightness down. There we go. That's much better. So you can see a little bit more of that bridging there. And then by far the coolest candle that I own is this one right here.
I don't think I've ever seen a candle like that before. That's some bling.
I know. So Mindy's responsible for both of these. Mindy's my beautiful Coven sister. And she comes through with such goods. I was recently having a bit of a rant about candles. I did so on TikTok. I did so on my Patreon, and I was having a big rant about it. And she's just like, girl, I've got you. I've got you. So she sent me out a bunch of like Novena glass candles, which I'm very, very grateful for. But these beautiful candles, they are like, mwah, they are pride and place. Like I want to use them so bad, but then I won't have them anymore if I use them.
It does be a problem. I just wanted to show that in case anyone's unfamiliar, if anyone's new, that's the glass vigil candle there that Avalon just mentioned. I
Yes.
love the candles too. We were talking about it before. I don't always have a candle going when I'm weaving magic, but a lot of the time, vast majority of the time, there's some kind of fire happening. I just wanted to share this one. This is my working candle. So this is a concept I heard many, many years ago, but essentially you have a candle burning when you're doing your magic, right? For protection, for empowerment, whatever, like all the things. So I always use these particular candles. This is by Illume, E-L-U-M-E. There's a website called candlestogo.com.au, and the prices are fairly reasonable for big candles like this, and they're scented, they're lovely. So that might be something that interests you. Anyway, I always use these. This is Smoky Wood, the scent, and I actually carve the back. I'm not showing you the back, but I carve the front really, but the back for you, right? With various sigils that are meaningful and empowering to my particular witchcraft. So I will carve those on there, and at the moment there's 3 different ones, and I'll anoint those with different magical oils as well, so to empower those. But I love this way of practicing. I think the working candle is interesting. When I came onto YouTube as a student, if you will, I heard people mention working candles a lot, but I've never actually seen it written down in any books. And that might just be the wrong tradition. Like maybe I'm not reading that stuff. I don't know, but I've never seen it anywhere. I've only ever heard it online. So anyway, but I think it's a really powerful way. It just anchors you, right? So you know that when you light that candle, magic is happening. And if you use it over time, like literally the switch into the magical mindset can be instantaneous after a time. So it's a great little tip.
Yeah, I think a working candle, I think it's the dirtiest candle that you have. And I mean that in the literal sense of it, because the way that I use my working candles, first of all, my working candles are my favorite color. Or a version of my favorite color, because they're representative of me. They are the most carved up, like it looks like something out of a horror movie kind of vibe. And they are very, very, very well worked and very rubbed into. And so like that's what lights my incense sticks, and that what burns petitions. So it actually gets very dirty, your working candle. But I've recently talked one of my besties into making for herself a working candle of sorts. She's an artist, so she prepped her candle. It's a 200-hour candle that cost her, I don't know, her first child, because we live in Australia. And she's worked it up, she's fixed it, and she only lights it when she's doing her creative work. So when she's sitting down to do creative work, she lights her incense, and then she sits there and she paints and she does the work that she needs to do. She's a professional artist. So so it depends. Like you can use the concept of a working candle in various different ways, but I think if it's a witch working candle, she should look fucking amazing. You should put the effort into it.
This here. So this is actually, I found this at a charity store. It's one of my cauldrons. Cauldron is another one I could really pull out, but I didn't bring the cauldrons to show you today. But it's actually an old fondue pot, but it's stainless steel or whatever, like cast iron. Anyway, so there's actually, down here it gets pretty nasty, but that's why I put it in like a whole thing now. So it used to sit in like a pretty little holder. This one's only just started burning again, so it looks pretty.
Very nice. Very nice. It's very hard to find good candles in Australia. I'm going to say this. I'm just going to have this little rant. And you cannot find a 7-day candle in Australia.
You have to
for under 30. Like you have to pay about $30. Yep. Now I got given a bunch of candles, like I was saying, from my beautiful Coven sister, and there's prices on the backs of these candles. $5.95 for something that here we would have to pay $30 to $45 for.
Yeah, it's outrageous. Yeah, I've got so many friends who are like, "Oh, those dollar candles." I'm like, "This is a
Fuck you.
special candle for me." Yeah, if I'm pulling this out, I'm doing some fucking work. Like, I keep them and they're so precious. I wish they were a dime a dozen for us like they are for you guys, but anyway. We get
Yes, Renee's like, they are $1
I
USD.
know. Shh, we know. That's crazy. So the reason, Candy, is because you guys are very much attached to all of the trading people, right? You got a lot of stuff coming up
You
from South
manufacture.
America.
It's manufacturing.
That's right. And you got all your manufacturing. We're an island on our own. We make nothing. Everyone gets paid a decent wage. So everything costs the earth.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
Yeah, we have to import absolutely everything.
Mhm.
Trust me, I'm not the only one. Like Gordon and I, we look at like 7-day candles because there's not much you can't fix with a 7-day candle. And here's the thing, a 7-day candle like this one right here, it doesn't have to be this one. That jar novena that Alvine was holding is also a version of a 7-day. It'll burn for 7 days. That's the nature of it. You light it and you do not extinguish these candles. The idea is to allow that flame to continuously burn and like pull the end, like the point of it is to burn continuously.
That's why it's in a
And so
glass.
I have such a hard time with this. I lit the other day, maybe I'll post a picture on the socials, but I lit the other day a candle that was roughly that big, about the width of my hand. So that wide. I've got tiny hands. And it burned for 2.5 days. 2.5 days. That big fuck off candle burnt for just 2.5 days. Now, I went to the reject shop here in Australia and I got a black candle for my Pombagira and it burns for 55 hours. So I almost got 3 days out of that one. And it was literally a quarter of the size of the candle that I had burnt. And then this one here is the smallest of them all and it goes for 7 days. So make it make sense.
It doesn't make any bloody sense. I do want to say too, so with the leaving the candles burning, so there's a lot of people that are very uncomfortable with this idea, and some witches have burnt their houses down before, so fair enough. Now, the whole thing with the glass encased is that it's a little bit more stable. They do crack, they can crack. I've never had one crack, but it happens. So another thing you can do is just put them in like a little bowl of water, something like that, if you leave them unattended. Something I do though, to make sure, especially if I'm going out or something like that, is I'll put them, with so I use platters, a lot of platters for my spell stuff. So whatever I need, right? The spell, I'll pick that up and just go put it in the bath or in the shower and shut the door. So if anything happens while I'm asleep or while I'm out, the wax will go down the drain or whatever. So it just gives you that level of safety. So that's something I would recommend. Or a big basin, right? You can just have a big bucket or whatever, as long as it's metal, all these things. But the idea is to keep them burning. You don't have to, but you'll find the energy different if you do. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. I can't emphasize this enough. My dad bought this home for me the other day for my witchcraft.
I was looking at that just before. Oh
It's
my God,
like
it's beautiful.
It's for you to witchcraft. So I would put this outside. Not now because the wind is ferocious, but like on a still day, I would put it outside and I would actually like witch the shit out of it. There'd be so many candles on there, like so many. Like that's actual like massive work. Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely beautiful work. But candles can be very dangerous. And I want to say this with my whole chest. So recently I was just telling you a story about how I had a nice big fuck off candle and it was, only lasted for 2 days. That was a protection candle. So I pimped that one right out. So I carved it. I put my black soot into it. Everything was like legit with that one. I placed it on top of a terracotta plate, so traditional ancestral terracotta plate, on top of a cork heat kind of thing that you get from Kmart or something like that. And it burnt all the way down and then it stayed burning inside the actual terracotta. And when I lifted up the actual terracotta, it left a burn mark on top of the heat proof thing. Not on both sides, it didn't travel all the way through. But the point is that I had this forethought of like layer, protection, that kind of vibe. But the better the candle, the less issues you're going to have with it, first and foremost. When candles burn erratically like that, it's because they're poorly made.
Yeah.
They're just poorly made candles. The wick is either too big for the actual candle itself.
Cheap, nasty wax.
I wonder if I can actually share a photo in the chat. Oh, I don't think I can.
That would be so cool. YouTube, get on that, please. I just wanted to, someone...
There's a plus button.
I'll try it. Someone asked a question, and I know Avalon has a thing to say about this. Let me say my little 2 cents first. So are tea lights outrageous to use too? So for me personally, I don't tend to do spells on a tea light candle. I do think you can. I tend to use them personally more as like atmosphere. But this is very much going to depend on your tradition. So people will feel strongly about this. I do think you can, right? Experiment always with the kinds of tools that you have available to you and see what works best. Avalon, please tell us your feelings.
I can only ever be honest. I fucking hate tea light candles. I won't use them for spells at all. I don't, just like I don't use stick incense for spells. No. Like I have a standard to my practice. I will use tea light if I am, if it's the most convenient thing to use. For instance, I have a money bowl and I have chime candles and I have a little chime candle holder. And it's a little brass thing. And I'll put my chime candle inside it and I'll light it and that'll feed it. Or I will use a self-contained tea light in there. It's really the flame I'm working with. I'm just feeding that. But for spell work specifically, no. I don't personally use a lot of metal in magic, full stop. It's against my ancestors' wishes. There are certain things that I'm allowed to do within my spell, and I use the word allowed very literally here. I am not the person that can walk into a cemetery and do witch work in a cemetery. My spirits are not from the cemetery. They don't want me in there. So when I go into the cemetery, I have to go like a voodoo queen in there. Like I have to be wearing head to toe white, even my shoes, my socks, my underwear, my bra. My head needs to be wrapped in full traditional Yoruba style to just walk in. And I have to have my beaded necklaces or just to walk into a cemetery.
Exhausting.
Just to walk in. Okay. So I don't work with metal. Metal has a resonant energy. This is how it was taught to me. Anyway, metal has a resonant energy that either aligns with a particular spirit. For certain Eshu spirits work with metal, but that's rich metal. That's iron and what's the other one that pans are made out of? Oh yeah, it's cast iron.
I did that too. Oh, there's something there. Okay.
So yes, I can use, like, they're called ferramentas, the tools of, say, Orisha Ogun, or the actual knives and the forks, motifs of the Eshu. They are typically made of metal. So when you use metal, you're summoning a very specific energy of entity around you. Whether you work with them or not, they are going to influence your magic. Do with that information what you will, but I don't typically. I want the Eshu at my money bowl because they're road openers. So I'm like, yeah, get amongst it. But cheap alloy is not my vibe at all, and I use tea lights very reluctantly. Mind you, they are less expensive than the vast majority of candles, but I'll still pimp a tea light. I will anoint it, I will engrave it with one of my favorite tools that I haven't shown you yet, and then I'll put a little oil on the top of it. Some people like to put things, like if you can pull your tea light out, I actually think that makes your candle more flammable. And here's a word of caution. I'm absolutely obsessed with any kind of short form video that shows like some Slavic, European, East European witch making a candle. Okay, this is my favorite content to consume because, oh my God, they make it look so fucking good. Okay, they are making fireballs, not candles, actual fireballs. They are pouring their wax into molds and then adding so much dry matter, then rolling it up and then dipping it and prepping it and wicking it and all of that kind of stuff. But when it burns, it doesn't burn as a usual candle. It is a fucking fireball, okay? Let it be said, and that's okay. That is actually okay if you have the means of handling that and, you know, and you can do so safely. But let it be said, these are different types of candles to work with.
Witch candles.
They really are. Oh my God, but they're so beautiful.
Oh, bye, Renee. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Bye, Renee. Oh my gosh. All right. I think we have one more. You have one more?
I am done, I think. I think that's all my
All right,
things.
I have one more thing to show you, and then we're going to move on to readings. Yes. Okay, this is a tool. So back when I was a brand ambassador for the Witch's Moon, I used to get these cool things, right? This is the coolest fucking tool I use. See this? This is what I use to carve into all of my candles. This is what I use to clean out candles from candle holders and to remove the wax. This is one of the most used tools in my witch's arsenal. This and my kitchen/garden scissors. This is one of the most used things, and I highly recommend getting something specifically for this work. She is brilliant. She's quite sharp. You could stab someone with it, but it's perfect for engraving. It is the kind of like grit. It just digs deep into the actual candle itself. And it's the perfect engraving tool. And the thing that you can do with it is you can dip the tip of it in a conditioner oil and then you can engrave your candle. And so you're pushing that intention. You can put your saliva and engrave that candle. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic for that kind of thing. So get yourself one if you ever get the opportunity to. They might have it at the moon market. I don't know.
I had this thorn from one of my trees that I used for years for inscribing my candles. And now I have a few different things. It depends on the intention, right? So I've got a nail in there that I'll use sometimes, but I've actually got a calligraphy pen, just a calligraphy, and that's all I use it for. So I actually inscribe with that, and that's been quite a nice thing. And I also have a selenite, I don't know what that would be, like a pen. Like it looks like a pencil. It's very skinny and like has a point on it, and I'll use that too sometimes.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, it's funny what you end up using. I had a glass calligraphy pen, like a dip pen, and it was made of glass. So I could use that at one point. I've used toothpicks. I've used toothpicks and I've popped crystals on the end, like crystal balls on the end of it, and then I've just steeped it in a particular oil. And like this early days, like there's many iterations. Before I reached this is the pinnacle. This is the pinnacle of my practice. If I lost this, I would cry. I would absolutely cry. And then I would reach out to the Witch's Moon and beg them to send me another one. All right. So moving my prized candles aside, let's do some readings, folks.
Yes.
So we're going to do some tarot readings. Yes, no questions are welcome. And just comment what you want to ask. And we're going to go with that. How's about them apples?
Yeah. Who would like a reading?
Who would? Who indeed? I might start. Oh, I might use the good fortune. Oh, should I use the...
Isn't it the worst having to decide?
Well, I used the bone stone on your channel, so maybe I'll just use the good fortune.
Switch it up a little. I think I'm just I don't know. I'm using I've already got a reading for the other deck that I'd like to use, so we'll just leave that, I think.
Very nice. Very nice. So Hollyberry has just written general life reading. So do you want to kick us off, Alvine? Because I'm only just shuffling.
All right, what does Holly need to know right now, spirits? Where are you, Holly? I want to keep, there we are. Okay. Oh, okay. Wow. You got the Knight of Cups, darling.
Oh,
There we go.
hello, romance.
I don't know. Hello. So this is from the Lightseers Tarot, if anyone's interested. So you got the Knight of Cups. So this is like heart-centered yumminess, right? This is all of the good things opening up. This is romance, as we mentioned. There could be romance coming more into your life. But think of this not only as like, I'm trying to think what the word, like romantic romance, right? Like this is the romance of your life. You're talking about life reading. So I think there's something here about romancing your life, right? Adding beauty into your world, focusing on beauty, cultivating beauty, creating beauty, welcoming it in, focusing more on what you want, right? What do you want? Focusing on that, putting your energy into that, manifesting that, drawing that closer to you. What a gorgeous energy to have around you. And I'm just feeling that if you were to work some magic, I think red roses at this time. There is some red roses in this card that I'm being deeply pulled towards. So I think that could be a powerful magical tool for you potentially. Avalon.
Oh, I like that. Okay. Using the Good Fortune Tarot.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Four of Cups. Oh, this is quite the reluctant kind of energy here. So some say that this is a card of boredom. Others say that this is a card of indecision, like emotional indecision, as in, I don't know how I'm feeling right now. And so this is like underneath Alvine's card. So if the feeling is this, I feel like this is the vibe right now. The call to action would be was it the Knight of Cups?
Yes, the Knight.
The call to action would be the Knight of Cups, is that liberation of energy, that archetypal energy, like that seize the day, be put heart on your sleeve kind of vibe. But this is asking you to process those feelings. So just what might your triggers be? Do you know what your attachment style is? Like, get to know your emotional body first and foremost before you put yourself out there. And when we're talking about cups, we're talking about the energy of water. We're talking about emotion. We're talking about imagination, dreams. We're talking about art. We're talking about feelings, all the feels, right? And so it's a very, very powerful card in telling you that you have to pay attention to how you're feeling. And it's important to understand what you are feeling every minute of every day. Especially those moments where you could be like, you're angry, but the root cause of that anger could be hunger. So it's not because you're upset, it's because you're hungry. It's understanding the mechanics behind your emotions that will help you to navigate and move forward. So there you go.
That's fascinating. The next card you got, my love. So we're doing 3, yeah, for each person. The oracle to finish you off here is Shapeshifter. I just love when it all just wraps in so nicely together. And the tagline here is transform and unveil your gifts. So I think everything Avalon just said, right? And I think there's something here too. It's like looking at all that stuff and becoming aware of all that stuff, going deeper in your body, finding the roots, right? But then there's something here about like not letting that hold you back either. Like shapeshift that shit, right? Like you're a witch. Step into the energy that you want, right? So the reality is the reality, but we're fucking witches, which means we're manipulating reality, right? We're looking at how reality is and we go, all right, cool. I want it to be something maybe like a little bit different, or I want a little bit more of this or less of that or whatever. So do that work. And I think it's just going to be beautiful, beautiful, beautiful for you.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yes, reality is like a little bit of a tuning fork. You just have to get that vibe right. Oh, I'm loving these last two questions.
All right, who are we doing next?
We are going to do, that was Holly. We're moving to Alandra Nightingale. General reading, please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Magician.
Interesting.
So this is a playful time. The magician is all about play, experimentation. They're very adept at it. Yes, it's true. But it's about working things in your favor. It's about arranging things in your favor. It's about manifestation at its core. I despise that word, despise it, but it is the only word to use here. It's about the calling in of that exact magic that you need. This is the sign. This is the sign that the magic is right, the time is right to get in there and get it done. It's the advice is to get some magic involved. The magician, like reach in, gather up that archetypal energy of the magician, the witch, the pick a word that aligns with magic and put it to the test. This is a really, really great nod to magic is the step that you need to do the thing.
And guess what card I pulled? Page of Wands. So basically doubling down on everything Avalon just said. Do the things, right? Do the things. Oh my God, magic is here. Craft, create, get into it, my love. Like, wow, the creative power that you have here, that masculine, like fucking go energy. Whoa. Let's see what the Oracle says.
That's a really great card. Initiation. Oh, she's a good one.
Let's go.
She's a good one. Oh, this is the beginning of something incredible. This is an initiation of sorts. Oh, I like that for you. I love that for you. This is the right time. This is the definite right time. Are you planning on dedicating to a tradition? Are you going to join a coven? Are you going to start a course of study and have a graduation ceremony or beginning a new phase in your life? Like, it's such a great one, such a great vibe.
What a reading. All right.
I know. We have another general one from Honey.
Owlet Moon, how you doing,
Moon.
lovely? We go way back. All right. Spirits, what does Honey need to know right now? One clear card, please. What does Honey need to know right now? Ooh, damn. She's got strength.
Ooh, interesting.
Half lion, half woman. So my love, this card is all about stepping into your power, right? Like owning your power, owning who you are, stepping up and being counted, taking up space, right? That's what I really feel for you. I think in doing that, you're going to open up something emotionally, like there's like a heart opening here, but it's like, I think maybe there's something about you discrediting yourself or discounting yourself or putting yourself below. And I think this card is really speaking to you about stepping up into that power of yours, right? You're a powerful witch, my love. And I think it's time to really wield that magic. This feels very... This is like stepping out of insecurity. That's what I feel in a really big way. I think there's some big stuff to leave behind here. Step into the power of who you are. Okay, give yourself that permission. Let's see what the other cards have to say.
All right. 7 of Cups. This is illusion, okay? This is a reminder that not all that glitters is gold. This is a really great reminder that it's very easy to just imagine things into being, but you have to work alongside them to really bring them into reality. It also suggests that your emotions might be leading you in a particular direction, and it's really good to ground and center that energy so that you can become more embodied in your choices and sort of reach that more authentic representation of who you are and what it is that you want to achieve specifically. It's very, very easy to disassociate and to imagine and to escape into that, that imaginative quality. And it's such a beautiful aspect of water people, full stop. But it's also great to remember that you can't just live your life through that headspace, that you have to embody and really ground and really center and really understand that the way in which your dreams, your hopes, your ambitions are aligned in your mind, they feel a lot more distant than they actually should be. Like you should bring them a little bit closer. Right now, you might be looking at goals and they may seem so far away. So it's really a good time to break things down into tiny little bite-size, pieces of progression so that they can be more reachable, because it's very easy to psych yourself out if you see your big goals as being so very big and so far away. Everything is in the realm of possibility. Absolutely, this is true. People have proven this theory time and time again. You just need to align and really break things down and get to where you're going.
I love that. Align, break things down, step into your fucking power. And you got the autumn card here with the beautiful crow. And it says, release the old and rest. So I think you're in a process here. From everything we're hearing about this reading, you're very much in a process. You're not where you'd like to be. This moment is going to take strength, right? It's going to take strength and you being a witch, standing in that power. And you're releasing what is no longer serving you. So these could be limiting beliefs. These are all the imaginations, right, that Avalon was talking about, all the things going on up here, all the options, all the choices, all the things. We're releasing what you no longer feel aligned to you, clearing space so that in future you will be able to better focus. That is your reading for today, my love.
I love that. I finally get a little yes and no.
I got yes and no. Very nice.
Okay, so Cricket Bay says, reading about if I should ask Artemis at work to go out with me. I love this. This is the one. This is the one I love. Like,
I pulled a card. I'll be very interested to see what you got come out. Let's go.
Well, for my yes and no's, I have a very specific way of working with my tarot. Okay, that's good. No. Sorry. Not a good idea.
There you go.
And behind it, it's a matter of expression. It's not an authentic expression on her side. So moon for no, sun for yes. What did you get, Alvine?
10 of Cups. Which is interesting.
So it's very happy.
It is very happy. That's very interesting. I think, well, you got your no there, my love, but I think there's other happiness here, right? Like that's the thing that you've got your mind set on. It's not for you, at least as far as the cards say, right? Always take it with a grain of salt. It's your life. But I think there is other happiness about. I think maybe someone else, right?
The feeling's right. The object of the feeling might not be right, but the absolute feeling is correct. Oh, I love a yes and no. Oh, Alandra, thank you. Avalon and Alvine, that spoke to me so much. It's exactly what I needed to hear. I have felt this knocking. I'll pull, it wasn't fully sure. Oh, that's beautiful. That's wonderful.
Thanks for sharing that with us.
All right, we've got another sort of like yes and no question here by Candy from the Broom Closet.
Oh, yes.
And that is, what is the outcome of selling my house and leaving Los Angeles? It's so much work to move. I'm on the fence. So
interesting. Well, you got the 3 of Wands here. Yeah. So where are we? Sorry, I just like to actually see. There we are, Candy. This is interesting. So we'll see what the rest of the cards say. This could be maybe a little ambiguous to that, but it seems as if there is this real desire for the next, right? Like your heart's in it. You're wanting that other thing. I think that is for you. You are searching, you are seeking. What do we get?
We got a yes.
There you go. Yeah. So
that's a really bright sunshine. Yes.
Yeah. You're searching, you're looking, and yes, yes, yes. Let's see the oracle. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, okay. Wow. She literally leapt out. Okay. She jumped at me. Earth Mother.
Ooh.
Says feel loved and comforted. So yeah. That's a big fat yes. Lean into the goddess as well, right? In all of the difficulty that's coming, because yes, it is challenging moving house. I totally understand. I never want to do it again, but I also want to. It's a lot, right? But just lean right in those moments. This is going to be a really good move for you. 100%.
Very nice. Oh, that was really good. Are you drinking matcha, Alvine?
Matcha?
Mate.
No, I got a little bit of coffee and water. Other than that,
very nice. Oh my gosh. All right, folks, I think that is all the questions answered.
Oh, we've got one from John.
Oh, do we?
John's hiding down there. Yep. He said, if you'll have time, could I get a reading?
Oh, what would you like, John? What would you like?
So let us know, John.
General?
Yeah, if you want just a general reading or if you got a specific question. That's awesome, Candy. Good night, Melody.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us on this 1st of October vibe. Such a good vibe.
I actually think I'm looking at the screen. I think there's like a massive delay. So we probably won't hear from John for a few minutes, I think. I think probably just a general, I guess.
Yeah, I think there is a really big delay.
Big delay.
Oh, just general, he said.
Okay, there we go. Awesome. All right.
Night, Rock and Robin. Huh? All right. For general, I think I'm going to move back to my good fortune. What are you doing? It's funny when you've been shuffling a deck that has very thick cardstock and then you shuffle a more bendy kind of malleable deck, the vibe is very off.
It's very different. You get a bit, I do that in front of people sometimes and I'm like, I can't handle my cards, you know?
I've never held a deck before in my life. It's funny, I play card games with my kids and they're like, Mum, can you shuffle the cards? And then the moment they say, Mum, can you shuffle the cards? They're like, oh no, because it takes me ages to shuffle. I'm just
like, I'll shuffle the cards. Yes.
I'm like a professional. I do this for a living, okay? All right. Oh, John, this is a time to hermit. Okay. Hermit, hermit, hermit. And what this means is this is a card ruled by Virgo. So we're talking about methodical, detail-oriented people, right? Oftentimes very introverted. Not always, but oftentimes very introverted. These are patient, kind of almost scholarly types of people, like everything in order, like get the details sorted. So when the hermit appears, it's asking you to withdraw from the noise. It's asking you to take a moment to get clear on things. The hermit has its staff of wisdom and the lamp. These are the primary symbolisms of the hermit in the Rider-Waite-Smith specifically. The lamp is for illumination, to learn something new. The staff is for wisdom, to anchor that illumination into that wisdom. And so what you've got is that withdrawal. This is a great nod to like a retreat. It's a great nod to like dedicate a weekend with no phone on and just like get in your feels, write it out, like really, really just sit in that space of like, what do I need here? What am I lacking? What do I feel like I need? What am I not seeing? And be very deliberate with your needs, your own immediate needs. Nourish your body well, sleep effectively, and consider what it is that you're feeling. Like really reach into that emotionally intelligent aspect of the self and try to understand what the call is, what the sound is that's coming out, where the pain might be sitting, where the trigger is, or where the illumination needs to come from. This is a really deep seeker kind of card. It's a very walking the sacred path of the divine kind of card. It's very much internal, personal, autonomous, and solitary. Solitary is the most important thing here because it's very hard to do this with noise around you. So this is a beautiful card. It's a card of illumination. The hermit goes high so that they can get a greater picture, so they can see the bigger picture in general. And so this is about distancing yourself from the immediate subject and taking in all angles, being very multifaceted with your approach so that you can see things from a multitude of perspectives and a multitude of angles to be as fair as you possibly can. So, hermit.
You got another major arcana here. So this is a big reading for you, John. We have the Fool. Everybody loves this card, right? So this is, I think, once you do that work, right, that solitary internal exploration, there is something very new for you. Now, the Fool also came out reversed. So in this, it is a new beginning, but it's like the shift from being afraid to start, all of that stuff going, right? Like all of the hesitation, all of the stuff that's been blocking you and not allowing you to kind of move into a new phase, that's being removed now. And I think that is the hermit work, right? The hermit work. And that just lets us know that when you move into the next stage, it's like in freedom, right? Like it's without all of these chains and this weight and this bullshit. It's a really exciting card for you. So if you keep in touch, we'd love to know what new thing comes out for you. Let's have a look at your oracle card Avalon has for you there.
All right, oracle.
What do you get?
Higher knowledge.
Love it.
Very much linked to your hermit card of knowledge. In fact, we have the owl. We have the owl in the hermit card. So I really want you to think about that deep wisdom, that higher knowledge, that deeper understanding. And with the Fool in reverse too, like the Fool represents the spirit in search of the experience. And it can sometimes be that you're unclear, you're nervous, you're frightened to start, which is why you need to educate yourself more on the subject matter, sit deeper into the experience, disconnect, and really listen to the truth that's inside of you so that you can access that power, because that's where it is. It's inside of you already. Oh, I love that vibe. I love a good hermit. My cat is going feral in the next room.
Oh,
She's
really?
just against the glass door here.
It's a little werewolf. Needs to get out.
Oh my gosh. What have we got? Hollyberry. Oh, very nice. This was such an unexpected surprise. I pulled some cards earlier today and thought maybe I should get a reading from a friend on this. Thank you for sending blessings.
Love that.
That's beautiful. All right, folks. Well, we have gone well over time.
Oh
So
my goodness.
it's easy to do. It's so easy to do.
We
But
talk a lot. We do.
we hope that you have enjoyed both sessions that we have done here for the Broken Pentacle to commemorate our launch. Our episodes will be available on our YouTube channel, on our Spotify. The links to those will be underneath our YouTube channel, our Broken Pentacle YouTube channel. And so we hope that you can come over and support us and at least listen. There are 2 episodes on, I think it's Spotify already. And so I had a witchy girlfriend, listen to it, and she said this is the best thing to put on and do some art. And so she gave us really good feedback on that one, and I trust her implicitly. So
that's the creativity oil, just saying.
It is the creativity oil.
Creativity oil.
It's absolutely the creativity oil. And so all of that is happening. We are very, very excited to be providing this as a resource to witches. And also we would like to encourage you to submit questions or topics for exploration. You can send them to our email address, which is thebrokenpentacle@gmail.com. You can send it to any of the messaging apps on any of the platforms that we're associated to.
Comment under any Broken Pentacle content and let us know.
Yeah, that would be really great. Oh, thank you, Alandra. That's very nice.
Oh.
You're welcome, John. It was so nice. It was so nice to do nice public readings. But for the interim, we are going to... Oh, hang on. There we go. I'm going to stop the live stream just for you and I. Okay, Alvine. But thank you everyone so much for joining in and for supporting both Alvine on her channel and me here on my channel. It was really, really lovely to spend this time with you. Thank you for allowing us to share some of our passions with you and our perspectives with you. And please understand that this is just our way. Everybody has their own way of practicing their craft. And it's so very important to honor your way, but always, always understand why it is that you do the things that you do and where you're gathering that energy and that truth from. Like, that's really important as you move through your magic and your practices, to be very deliberate and very intentional. And so we hope to be able to show you that deliberate and intentional energy as we move through and create different episodes for our podcast. We would like to do more lives as well. Alvine and I were just discussing that in the break, that we may actually gather for Sabbaths and then do some more live readings like this. Could be really fun, and talk a little bit about the Sabbath and how we're each practicing or intending on honoring the Sabbaths. And there you go. It's all developing. It's all developing.
It is.
So thank you so much, folks, and we hope to chat to you again soon. See you later.